Hi guys, so I'm back again with another tag video, and this one is a really exciting one for me because it's all about contouring and highlighting, which is something that I've been really getting into recently. The tag was created by the lovely Liza from Glam Beauties. I will leave her link below. Her channel is amazing and she's one of my blogging buddies and I think she's great. So she's put forward this tag about contour and highlighting because that's pretty much what everybody sort of raves about these days. So there's a couple of questions and I'm going to show some products and hopefully you guys will enjoy. Okay, so question number one, when did you learn about contouring and highlighting? Who inspired you to start? I'd never sort of been on the highlighting contour sort of radar, or well, it's never been on my radar even, until I would say probably Kim Kardashian. I mean, she's like the contour and highlighting queen, is she not? Come on. So like her makeup is always incredible and it is amazing what you can actually do with your face, because I mean, she might have had some plastic surgery along the way, I'm sure, but the way that like her makeup artist will like sculpt and sort of accentuate her face is just like mind-blowing how amazing it can be. I mean, I'm not a pro by any stretch of the imagination whatsoever, but it's something that I'm really getting into, and I would say that sort of just from looking at Kim Kardashian in that infamous picture where she's got like the highlight and the contour that's unblended, which I'll try and insert here if I can, like it's just was like, everybody was like, what the heck, how like what does it do? And then obviously it's the secret to the Kim Kardashian perfect contour look. So that kind of was what inspired me to kind of get a little bit more information into it and just sort of buy more contour and highlighting based products. Question number two, do you highlight and contour every day or just for special occasions? I'd say I do a bit of both. I do like a subtle contour on a daily basis just with bronzer, just to really sort of accentuate my cheekbones and sort of suck them in. I sometimes use a highlight. I'm probably more likely to use a concealer to sort of lift my under eye and sort of the sort of high points of my face and just make them a bit more sort of like awakened and lifted. So I kind of tend to use more more illuminating concealers than actual highlighter on a day-to-day basis, unless it's the summer and I find I've just been like throwing on the highlighter, and as an oily skinned girl that's quite a scary thing to do, so definitely say I do a bit of both. When it comes to going out, I do tend to use sort of build on it and try and get a sort of really nice sort of sculpted kind of face with multiple products and sort of layer it and cake it on. Question three, do you prefer powder or cream based products? I would say that I probably prefer, it's a bit of a catch-22 with this. I find that powder products are so much easier to work with and you can really sort of not really go wrong with them, but then I find with cream products you're going to get a much more natural finish, and while they're trickier to work with you do seem to get a better finish, I would say. So it's a bit of a hard one. When it comes to highlighters, I would say that I probably prefer powder, but then I don't know, I like all sorts of things. I'm very much a makeup addict, so I like both. Question four, what is your favourite contour product? So this is a high-end and a drugstore. For high-end I would probably say anything by NARS because I love NARS. And I picked two up just because these are the ones I use on a more regular basis. I'm sat at a really funny angle, so I'm going to have to scooch on over. So the first thing is NARS Laguna bronzer. This is like the perfect, like, I obviously love this. It's perfect for, it's like not too orange, not too warm, not too cool. It's just like a nice sort of powder to sculpt your cheeks with. I absolutely love that. And then also I have two of the NARS matte multiples, and these are in the shades Vietaine and Altai. Vietaine's like a much darker contour colour. I would say that is probably more that I'd use like a little bit on a night out. And then Altai is probably one that's quite like Laguna. It's a much lighter, it's the lightest of the sort of contoury colours, and I just like these. I'm kind of getting to grips with them as I go along, and can't really go wrong with a bit of NARS, can you? Drugstore, I don't really have any sort of drugstore contouring products per se, but I do have a bronzer that's kind of around the price range of a of a drugstore product. Okay, get your words out. And it's the Kardashian Beauty Cabana Bronze, which looks like this. And I had one last year and it smashed, so I got another one. But so there's 3 different shades in there, and you can kind of mix them all together or just use like a light one, a medium one or a darker one. I wouldn't say that it's completely matte, but it is like quite a good sort of for a subtle contour, I guess. But I don't really have any sort of contour products that are from the drugstore, so if you've got any suggestions, leave them down below and I will be sure to check those out next time I'm in Boots, etc. Question 5, favourite highlighting product, high-end and again drugstore. Okay, is it bad that I've picked up 3 high-end products for highlighting and 1 for drugstore? I'm sorry. First thing is the NARS 413 BKLR Illuminator, which is a really gorgeous sort of light goldy colour. I just like popping a little bit of this on the top of my cheeks. It's a really good liquid highlighter. You can mix it with your foundation to give a more dewy look. I mean, I like using it both ways, but I like just sort of popping a little bit on the high points of my face just to give a bit more of a sheen. Then I have the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Luminous Light, which looks like this. And this you can use as an all over powder, but I also like to use it and sort of pack it onto the cheekbones just for a really soft, subtle sort of highlight. That's a really nice one to have. It's a multi-use product, we like those. And then I also have a new highlighting love in my life, and you may have seen it in my last sort of makeup tutorial, and this is the BalM. Mary Lou-Manizer, aka the Luminizer, which has the most amazing packaging. Can we just take a moment for that, please? And it is absolutely gorgeous. It's a really beautiful goldeny champagne-y shade. I've got a bit on today, and it's kind of one of those use sparingly. Use it sparingly, because in my last video I kind of went a bit slapdash with it and it was a little overwhelming for my face. But I'm kind of getting to grips with it and using a small amount. And then for drugstore, again, I don't really have any highlighting drugstore products. You guys are going to have to leave me some good recommendations. But this one, again, like the Ambient Lighting Powder, it's very multi-use. You can use it all over as a powder to sort of illuminate, or you can sort of concentrate it in certain areas. And this is the Bourjois Java Rice Powder, which comes in this amazing, really old school sort of packaging, and it's quite pinky toned. And you just sort of use a small amount and sort of build like that one as well. Question number 6, do you contour and highlight before or after your foundation? I would say that I do it after my foundation. It's just kind of what I kind of end up doing. I haven't really tried it before my foundation and sort of using that to sort of blend everything in. Might be something that I need to try. I'm not a contour and highlight like professional in any way, shape or form, but I do sort of tend to put my foundation on first and then do the contour and highlight afterwards. I suppose I could try like cream products underneath, but I feel like I use a lot of powder products on a day-to-day basis, so I don't really see a need for me to do it the opposite way around, because then it wouldn't really work. Question number 7, what's your favourite application and blending tool? So I picked up 5 brushes, and these are ones that I kind of tend to use on a regular basis. I use the Bobbi Brown Sheer Powder Brush on an everyday basis to blend in my sort of contoury, bronzery, kind of all over shebang. I absolutely love this. It's quite tapered and sort of fits nicely in the hollows of my cheek. Another one is great is the MAC 109. This is great for both contour, sort of really working it into the back of the cheekbones, or highlight, sort of dabbing it on the top of your cheekbones. I really like that as well. Then the next 3 are Real Techniques brushes, because I really don't think you can go wrong with those. And I like to use the Real Techniques Stippling brush, mainly for cream blush, but I also like to use it for highlight, especially liquid highlight like the NARS Illuminator, just sort of stippled onto the top of my cheekbones. I really like the Real Techniques setting brush, especially for sort of under eye concealer and sort of blending that up and out. That's really good. It's also good with powder highlighter as well. And then just as a typical blending brush, it will be the Real Techniques buffing brush, which is incredible. I have 2 of these because they're amazing, and I use that for foundation mainly, but you can sort of chop and change things, can't you? I mean, you don't have to use these particular brushes for exactly what they say on the tin. That's my sort of opinion anyway. before I go on to the last question, I just want to do a few sort of extra product shout outs, so to speak. So there's a few products here that I feel need like a little mention. So I'm going to talk about 3 highlighting concealers, and the first one is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is in the shade Vanilla. Absolutely adore this. It just gives a really sort of nice lifted look to the face, and I kind of tend to use it not just under my eyes. I kind of try to do the Kim Kardashian highlighting sort of spectrum over the face, so I like using that. Another alternative to that, sort of drugstore wise, is the Rimmel Wake Me Up Concealer. While the NARS one is good on spots as well, this one sort of seems to highlight them, so it's best to be sort of like an illuminating highlighter. That's a good sort of different one. And then a new one that has come into my life is the Vietaine Touche Veloutee, and it's in the shade 2 Cream, and this is a brush on highlighter, and it's very sort of illuminating and a bit like a Touche but a bit more expensive. So I won't ritter on about any more products, but the final question is, give us your top tip. So as I say, I'm not like a highlighting contour queen, but I would say that a good thing to do is to build, and by that I mean like sort of use the products and build up the amount that you want on your skin, instead of going sort of slapping it on willy-nilly. I'd sort of build it, and then you get a stronger and more long-lasting finish. I think another thing is just to practice. Like, practice makes perfect at the end of the day, so I always like to have a little play around with stuff and sort of see what products work for you. If you prefer powder, if you prefer cream, liquid, etc. I would definitely recommend a lot of practice, and watching other people's videos always helps as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you again to Liza for tagging me in this fab tag, and I tag pretty much anybody who wants to do this, so I'll list a few names down below, and hopefully you guys will do it too. Okay, so I'll see you guys in my next video, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!